So I sleep at my parents' house, and they have a little room right off the back of their house with a little staircase. And right at the end of the staircase is a little maple tree. And I'm sitting on the stairs, and I burn a little bit of sage. I'm burning a little bit of sage, and then I'm sitting there, and I burn it on the medicine tarot cards, and I break out the tarot cards, and I actually read the book, and it says there's three different spreads that you can do for the tarot cards to get your medicine animal. And I sit there and I just say, I'm not going to do it that way. I just shuffle the cards up, and I say, God, whatever card I pull is my medicine animal. So I shuffle the cards up, and I pull a card. As soon as I pull the card, it's the crow card. Right when I pull the crow card, the crow is right above me. As quick as I pull the card, the crow is right above me. Probably 10 feet above me, circling me in a tight circle right above me, cawing. And I'm like, whoa, this is really happening. Oh my God, again. Wow, the magic is happening strong. And this crow is circling at me, going, caw, 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 like really trying to get my attention. And it's in a tight circle right above me, just flying directly over me. A small circle, like literally. He's right above me, and he's in a tight circle right above me. He's trying to get my attention. I pull the crow card, and I go, oh my God. And so then I read the book on the crow, and it says the crow is the shaman card and has the power to be in the past, present, and the future at the same time. And then it says, be careful, because the crow can drive himself crazy, pecking at his own shadow in the puddle. And I didn't really understand what that meant at that time, but I will tell more about this, because this crow is still circling me, and I'm tripping on the crow. And I just read it. It's a shaman card, the power to be in the past, present, and future at the same time. So I am like blown away that I pull the card, and the crow is like right there. And I'm like, I read the book a little more on the stuff on the crow, and then I'm like, wow, this crow is really trying to get my attention. And it wasn't a coincidence. I'm like, this is not a coincidence. This crow is like showed right up. So I put the cards away, and I go back in the house, and I tell my dad, I'm like, Dad, I pulled the crow card, and the crow was circling me, cawing at me. And he's like, whoa, he's tripping. He's like, whoa. He always trips on me. I mean, I like trip everybody out. So I eat breakfast there with my family, and my dad gives me 5 gallons of gas, and he gives me a little bit of money to go to town to go get gas. I'm in my early 20s. I don't have much money back then. So I borrow $20 from my dad for gas, and he gives me 5 gallons of gas. And me and Jay Marr are in the truck, and we're heading to town. And it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. And we drive up over up the hill, and we're going across the mountain range, and it's a little 1-lane road. It's about literally 20 miles to town from my parents' house, and it's like 3 miles down the dirt road, and then like 17 miles to town. And I am driving over the mountain range, and I tell Jamar, I say, man, I pulled the medicine card, and the crow was circling me. And I said, do you think it was a coincidence? And he's like, whoa, man, heavy metal. He's always says that. It's kind of like his thing. And I was like, Do you think it was a coincidence? And right when I said that, do you think it was a coincidence? The crow is in front of my windshield, and this is on a tight, windy road at the top of the ridge. The crow is in front of my windshield, about 5 feet in front of my windshield, and it's right over the front of my hood. And it is flying right in front of me. Right when I say, do you think it's a coincidence? Um, that crow stays in front of my truck, and it kept a 5 to 10 foot distance for like 3.5 miles from the top of the ridge all the way in front of my truck on the road. I've never had a crow do this before. And I'm like, oh my God, this is really happening. I cannot believe it. And Johnny's like, whoa, man, heavy metal. He's like, what a trip. And I was like, the crow follows me 3.5 miles and all the way down the ridge, and then it goes all the way down the hill, and at the bottom of the hill there's a bunch of tight corners, and it's right in front of my windshield, and it's following me on the road, and I'm tripping my butt off. I am not on anything. I am like dead sober, and I am like, can't believe this is really happening. I'm like, wow. This crow is following me, and it's right in front of my window. Um, it flies all the way down to the bottom of this hill, and it's a tight corner and another tight corner and another like corkscrew corner at the very bottom of the hill. If you knew where I lived, you would know exactly where the spot was. Everyone that lives up here knows that spot in the road. And it flies right down, and it lands right on a tree branch, a madrone tree, right on the right hand side. And I keep driving by, and I am tripped out. I can't believe it. So I go to town and I fill up with gas, and then I go back home, and I tell my dad and my family what happened. I'm like, dude, and my dad believes me. My stepmom's kind of like, he's crazy. And my sisters don't know what to think. So I go and I hang out there for the day with my dad. My dad's a cool dude. We're pretty close. And I'm just hanging out there. I think I go help him cut some firewood, and working around the farm, working on the ranch. And I don't think much of it, but I'm still tripping on what happened. Well, every time after that I start thinking about the crow, I just think about it, and it shows up, and it starts showing up everywhere, and it actually starts to follow me like a pet. um I would think about the crow, and it follows me. It's like a pet, and it's like a psychic pet, and it's like my totem animal, and we're having a connection, and it's always around. I think about it, and it caws always. It's like, let me know it's there. All I have to do is talk about it or think about it, and it goes really close. And I am tripped out. So then I go visit my cousin down at Panther Gap, and I had called him and told him what was happening to me, because he's pretty magical. He's a real magical guy. He's very supernatural. I mean, he is a real mystical guy. And you know, we're going down to Panther Gap. We drive my truck down there, and it's like 16 miles down the dirt road, cross the river twice. And he said, I knew you were coming. And I said, how did you know I was coming? And he says, the crow showed up. And right when I showed up, I knew you were coming. And he said, you showed up 10 minutes later. And he's like, the crow showed up right before you. And I was like, wow, what a trip. And so I hang out with him, and I'm telling him all the stories and all the magical stuff that happened. And he's just like, he believes it because he is really magical. He told me he was going to win the lottery, and he actually won it. And that actually got me started in believing. But, you know, I go out there and we hang out and we work out there, me and Jay Marr. And then we leave a few days later and we go down to the city, and I go down to San Francisco and I stay in one of the hotels down there. I think I'm like in the Hyatt Regency down on the Embarcadero down there, and I have a room down there, and um, I went clubbing that night with Johnny Marr the night before, and then I got a room and went and stayed at the Hyatt. And when I'm we were out at 1015 Folsom. We went out there and went out, and there were some good DJs there. We didn't go down to the dungeon, but we were on the top floor hanging out. Uh, I'm young and I'm single, chasing girls, to be honest. But I hang out, I partied there, and then I just drinking, and um, then I go and get a hotel at the Embarcadero Hyatt, and I'm sleeping at the hotel. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, right outside my window, and we're up high, we're like up on one of the top floors, and right outside my window at 8 a.m., right on the dot, the crow is circling my window, right at my window, and woke me up. And like, I look out the window and the crow is going, ah, 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 circling right at my window. And I'm tripping because the crow woke me up early in the morning and was right at my window cawing. And I'm like, whoa, this is not a coincidence. This crow is literally following me around and talking to me. And I I say to Jay Marr, hey, we need to go back home. We're gonna head back up to Humboldt. I got work to do. So I used to run back and forth from Humboldt to the Bay a lot. And when I was young, I had a lot of energy, and gas was a lot cheaper then. So we head back up to Humboldt, and when I get up to Humboldt, I tell my dad what happened. I'm like, dude, the crow was followed me out to Panther Gap and was out there while I was working the whole time, was close to me. And literally, when I went to San Francisco, the crow woke me up in the morning, and it was the same crow. I was like tripping. I'm like, wow, this is really happening to me. This is supernatural and magical. And I was like, wow. So I'm telling people about it, and everybody I tell are like completely like freaked out. People don't want to hear it, and they're scared. They're like, man, he's crazy. I tell my own mother, and she's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. She's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that kind of stuff. She does not understand at all. And I tell my dad, and he understands. But I actually had called my mom and tried to tell her, and she's just like, yeah, did not believe it. And she still has a hard time. She doesn't like any of these magical stories or supernatural stuff. She's very straight. So when you start telling straight people that you have a crow following you and you're having all these magical experiences, you met devil worshippers in the city, you're talking to God, all of these things, people are really like skeptical, and they literally people want to like commit you. They're like, people don't believe in anything that is outside the box. So I'm really having a hard time with people. People are really tripping on me, and I'm alienating myself with a lot of people when I tell these stories. So this is going on for a while. And